The text from Jesse came at 6:47 a.m., right as I was checking in for my flight to Vegas. Just a photo and 5 words that shattered my entire world. You still heading to your wedding? I'm Paris, and this was supposed to be the happiest morning of my life. Instead, I'm staring at my phone screen, watching my sister Reagan kiss my fiance Bowen on what appears to be the steps of a private jet. The timestamp shows 4:30 a.m. While I was getting my final beauty sleep, they were already halfway to destroying everything. Ma'am, your ID? The airline clerk's voice barely registers. My hands shake as I text Jesse back. When did you take this? This morning, I was at the airport for an early shoot when I saw them. Paris, I'm so sorry. My phone buzzes again. It's Michaela. Where are you? I'm at the terminal with your dress. I can't breathe. The fluorescent airport lights suddenly feel too bright, too harsh. A man in a business suit bumps into me, muttering an apology, but I barely notice. 3 years with Bowen, a lifetime of being Reagan's little sister. All those family dinners where she'd sit next to him, laughing just a little too hard at his jokes. Girl, what's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Michaela appears beside me, wheeling my wedding dress in its garment bag. One look at my face, and she knows. Show me. I hand her my phone. Her sharp intake of breath says everything. That manipulative bitch, Michaela whispers, pulling me away from the check in counter. I always knew she was jealous of you, but this? With Bowen? I should have known. My voice sounds strange, distant. Remember last month when she insisted on helping him pick out my anniversary gift? Or how she always needed his professional advice on her business ventures? Michaela grabs my shoulders. Paris, look at me. What do you want to do? We can turn around right now. I'll call everyone. Cancel everything. That's when something shifts inside me. Maybe it's the way Michaela's looking at me, not with pity, but with fierce loyalty. Or maybe it's remembering how Reagan always had to have everything I wanted, from my favorite childhood toys to my first boyfriend in high school. My phone buzzes again. It's my mother. Sweetheart, Reagan just called. She's worried about you, says you're not thinking clearly about this wedding. Of course. She's already spinning the narrative. I look at the flight board, then at my ticket, then at Michaela. You know what? We're going to Vegas. Paris. No, listen. 75 people are flying in for this wedding. The venue's paid for, the flowers, the cake, the photographer. It's all ready. I straighten my spine, feeling something dangerous and electric course through me. And I'm done letting Reagan steal my moments. What are you thinking? I grab my phone and pull up the wedding planner's number. Remember that article we read about self marriage ceremonies, where women commit to loving themselves first? Michaela's eyes widen. Oh my God! If Reagan and Bowen want to make a mockery of my wedding day, fine, but they don't get to write the ending to this story. My fingers are already typing a message to the planner. I'm going to marry myself in front of everyone who came to witness my happiness, and I'm going to make sure the whole world sees it. You're crazy, Michaela says, but she's grinning, and I absolutely love it. I hit send on the message, then dial Jessie. When she answers, I don't waste time on pleasantries. Keep taking pictures, document everything they do. I want every kiss, every handhold, every betrayal captured. On it, Jessie replies. But Paris? Make them regret this. I look at my boarding pass, then at my reflection in the terminal's window. The woman staring back at me isn't the same one who woke up this morning planning to become Mrs. Bowen Ellis. Final boarding call for Flight 27 to Las Vegas, the announcer calls. Ready? Michaela asks, grabbing the dress bag. I nod, feeling strangely calm. Time to show my sister what happens when you push the wrong bride too far. The Sedona resort lobby falls silent as I walk in, still wearing my airport clothes, with Michaela trailing behind me carrying my wedding dress. The wedding planner, Amanda, rushes over with panic written all over her face. Paris, I've been trying to reach you. Your sister called and said, My sister, I cut her off, is not in charge of this wedding. I am. And we're making some changes. Amanda's perfectly penciled eyebrows shoot up. Changes? The ceremony is in less than 24 hours. The ceremony is still happening, I say, watching her expression shift from confusion to shock as I explain my plan. By the time I finish, she's sitting on one of the lobby's leather chairs, mouth slightly open. You want to marry yourself? Michaela steps forward. It's called a sologamy ceremony. Look it up. It's totally legal and becoming more common. But the guests, Amanda starts, will get exactly what they came for, a celebration of love. I pull out my phone and show her the photos Jesse sent. Just not the kind of love that involves my sister stealing my fiance. Amanda's eyes widen at the photos. Oh my god. Exactly. So here's what we need: remove all mentions of Bowen from the ceremony, replace the traditional vows with my own. And most importantly, I lean in closer. Make it impossible for anyone to forget. The elevator dings, and my mother steps out with my Aunt Carol. Their animated conversation dies when they spot me. Paris! Mom rushes over. Honey, I just got off the phone with Reagan. She's so worried about you. She says Bowen, save it. I hold up my hand. I've seen the photos, Mom. They're together in Vegas right now. Well, maybe there's an explanation. There is, Michaela interrupts. Your golden child is a backstabbing. Michaela, I touch her arm. It's okay. I turn to my mother. The wedding's still on. I'm just making some adjustments. Mom's face pales. What kind of adjustments? Before I can answer, more guests start arriving. My college roommate Emma, my cousins, Bowen's family. Oh God, his family. His sister Kate spots me and makes a beeline over. Paris, what the hell is going on? Bowen's not answering his phone. I pull her aside and show her the photos. Her face goes through the same emotions I felt at the airport: shock, disbelief, anger. That son of a bitch, she whispers. I knew something was off when he kept talking about Reagan at family dinners. Wait, what? Kate looks guilty. He'd bring her up randomly, how successful she was, how she understood him. I should have said something. I feel the familiar sting of tears, but blink them back. Well, now you can watch me take control of this narrative. I head to my suite, Michaela following with my dress. Once inside, I finally let out the breath I've been holding. You're doing amazing, Michaela says, hanging up the dress. But are you sure about this? I walk over to the dress, ivory silk, hand beaded bodice, everything I dreamed of. As I touch the fabric, I feel something crinkle in the hem. Frowning, I reach into the small pocket I'd had sewn in and pull out a folded note. What's that? Michaela asks. My hands shake as I unfold it. Bowen's handwriting. My dearest Paris, by the time you read this, you'll be hours away from becoming my wife, or at least that's what you'll think, but we both know you were always the practice run. Reagan's the finish line. Thanks for making me look good enough for her to finally notice me. Bowie. Michaela reads over my shoulder and swears. That calculating bastard. He planted this knowing you'd find it tomorrow during the ceremony. I stare at the note, something cold and hard crystallizing in my chest. He wanted to humiliate me in front of everyone. Then let's humiliate him right back. Michaela grabs my phone. I'm calling Jesse. We're going to need every photo, every video, every scrap of evidence. I nod, my resolve strengthening. Tomorrow, I'm not just marrying myself, I'm declaring war. The note crumples in my fist as I walk to the window. The red rocks of Sedona glow in the setting sun, and I can see the ceremony site being set up below. Tomorrow it becomes my battlefield. The wedding music starts, but instead of Wagner's traditional march, Lizzo's Truth Hurts blasts through the speakers. I stand at the back of the aisle, my heart pounding against my ribs as 75 faces turn to stare. Ready, Michaela whispers, adjusting my veil. I think I'm going to throw up. You're not. You're going to walk down that aisle and make history. Jessie circles us with her camera, capturing every moment. The morning light hits the red rocks behind the altar, making them glow like fire. Perfect backdrop for a phoenix rising from the ashes. I take my first step. The whispers start immediately. Where's Bowen? Is this some kind of joke? Did you see Reagan's Instagram story? My mother sits in the front row, her face a mask of barely contained horror. Next to her, my Aunt Carol is already dabbing at her eyes, though whether from emotion or embarrassment, I can't tell. I reach the altar where Amanda, our officiant, waits with an encouraging smile. Michaela takes her place beside me, phone ready to live stream. We'd spent all night rewriting the ceremony, and now it's time to deliver. Dearly beloved, Amanda begins, her voice clear and strong. We are gathered here today not to witness the union of two people, but to celebrate something equally sacred, the commitment to loving oneself first. The murmuring grows louder. I spot Kate, Bowen's sister, giving me a subtle thumbs up from her seat. Paris, Amanda continues, would you like to share your vows? I take a deep breath and face the crowd. I had different vows prepared for today. They were about trust and loyalty and building a future together. But then I found out my fiance and my sister boarded a plane to Vegas at 4 a.m. yesterday. Gasps ripple through the audience. My mother stands up, but Aunt Carol pulls her back down. So instead, I'm making new vows to myself. I unfold the paper I'd stayed up all night writing. I vow to stop dimming my light to make others shine brighter. I vow to stop accepting scraps of love from people who should give me the whole feast. Jesse's camera clicks rapidly. Someone in the back starts a Facebook Live. I vow to remember that betrayal says more about the betrayer than the betrayed, and most importantly, I lock eyes with my mother. I vow to stop letting family loyalty become an excuse for emotional abuse. Paris, my mother's voice shakes. That's enough. No, Mom, it's not. I pull out my phone and hold it up. Because while I'm here, taking back my power, your other daughter is in Vegas wearing a copycat version of my wedding dress, marrying the man who wrote this. I read Bowen's note out loud. The crowd erupts in shocked conversations. Kate stands up, face red with anger, and walks out. By the power vested in me, Amanda raises her voice over the chaos. I now pronounce you committed to yourself, your truth, and your worth. Michaela ends the live stream and hugs me tight. You did it! But the universe isn't done with surprises. As guests start standing, phones start pinging everywhere. Someone gasps, "Oh my god, look at this!" A new video is circulating Reagan and Bowen at some tacky Vegas chapel. She's wearing a white version of my custom dress, giggling as they exchange rings. The caption reads, "Sorry, sis, I just wore it better." Sorry, not sorry, do your upgrade complete? That absolute, Michaela starts, but I grab her arm. No, I say, suddenly calm. This is perfect. Let them think they've won. What do you mean? I turn to Jesse. Send me everything. The airport photos, the timeline, the note, everything. What are you planning? I look around at the beautiful ceremony setup, at my mother's tears, at the phones still recording everything. Reagan's built her whole career on being the perfect sister, the flawless influencer. Time to show her followers who she really is. My phone buzzes, a text from Hector, my stepfather. Before you do anything, come see me. There's something about Reagan you need to know. I show Michaela the message. She raises an eyebrow. Ready to go nuclear? I look at my reflection in her phone screen, at the bride who chose herself. They wanted a show. Let's give them one they'll never forget. The post wedding brunch feels like a funeral. I sit at the head table, picking at my untouched eggs Benedict, while conversations buzz around me like angry wasps. My phone hasn't stopped vibrating since the ceremony. The video of my self marriage ceremony has gone viral. You've got 3 million views already, Michaela whispers, scrolling through her phone. The comments are wild. Team Paris is trending. Before I can respond, the restaurant's double doors burst open. Reagan strides in, Bowen trailing behind her like an obedient puppy. She's wearing a white designer pantsuit that probably cost more than my entire wedding. Well, well, she announces, loud enough for everyone to hear. Looks like my little sister finally had her mental breakdown. The room goes silent. My mother jumps up, rushing to embrace Reagan. Sweetheart, you're here. Of course, Mom. Someone had to save this family from embarrassment. Reagan's eyes lock with mine. Though I see we're a bit late for that. I stand slowly, feeling everyone's eyes on us. Funny, I thought you'd still be in Vegas celebrating your stolen happiness. Stolen? Reagan laughs, the sound like breaking glass. Oh, Paris. Nothing was stolen. Bowen came to me, didn't you, darling? Bowen at least has the decency to look uncomfortable. Paris, we need to talk. The time for talking was before you wrote that charming note. I cut him off. Or before you helped my sister pick out a knockoff of my wedding dress. It wasn't a knockoff, Reagan snaps. The designer agreed it looked better on me anyway. The designer? I pull out my phone. You mean Marco? Let's ask him. I press play on a voice message. Paris, darling, your sister threatened to ruin my business if I didn't make her an exact copy. I have the text to prove it. Reagan's perfect mask slips for just a second. You're pathetic, you know that? Always playing the victim. Reagan, our mother warns. But Hector stands up, his quiet voice cutting through the tension. Enough? He walks over to me, placing a heavy envelope on the table. Paris, I've kept quiet for 20 years because your mother asked me to, but this ends now. Hector, don't you dare! My mother's voice shakes. What is he talking about? I ask, reaching for the envelope. Reagan lunges for it, but Michaela blocks her path. Inside, I find old medical records, therapy notes, and a police report from when Reagan was 17. You were always wondering why you couldn't remember parts of your childhood, Hector says quietly, why certain toys, friends, opportunities seem to disappear. My hands shake as I read. She she was drugging me? Just sleeping pills, Reagan says quickly. When you got too annoying, too perfect. When mom started paying more attention to you. The room erupts in shocked gasps. Bowen steps away from Reagan, his face pale. What the hell? It wasn't just the pills. Hector continues. The therapist documented systematic emotional abuse, gaslighting, sabotage. Your mother agreed to keep it quiet if Reagan got treatment. Which I did, Reagan snaps. I got better. Better? I laugh, the sound borderline hysterical. You just stole my fiancé and my wedding. Because you didn't deserve them, Reagan shouts, her composure finally cracking. You didn't deserve any of it. The perfect grades, the talent, the love, it should have been mine. Reagan, my mother pleads, please stop. No, Mom, let her continue, I say, standing straighter. Let her show everyone exactly who she is. I'm sure her followers would love to hear about the pills, the manipulation, the lies. You wouldn't dare, Reagan whispers. I'll destroy you. Like you've been trying to do my entire life? I pick up my phone. Check your Instagram, sis. Jesse's photos are already going viral. Every moment of your betrayal, documented in high resolution. Reagan grabs her phone, her face draining of color as she scrolls. No, no, no. And now, I say, walking toward the door, I have proof of why you did it. Game over, Reagan? Paris, Bowen calls after me. Wait, save it for your new wife. I call over my shoulder. I hear she's great at making people disappear. As I walk out into the bright Arizona morning, Michaela beside me, I hear Reagan's scream of rage echo through the restaurant. My phone buzzes with a message from Jesse. Ready for phase two? I smile, feeling lighter than I have in years. Time to show the world what really happens when the perfect sister snaps. Remember when Reagan told everyone you cheated on your SATs? Archer asks, swirling his bourbon. That was the first time I realized something was seriously wrong with her. I'm sitting in the hotel bar with my childhood friend who flew in as soon as he saw the viral videos. The afternoon sun casts long shadows across the empty room. Most guests have fled the drama, leaving only the aftermath. I'd forgotten about that, I admit. She convinced the whole school. I had to retake them just to prove my innocence. And your art scholarship? Archer leans forward. The one that mysteriously fell through senior year? What about it? I found out she called the foundation pretending to be you and declined it. Said you'd received a better offer elsewhere. My glass freezes halfway to my lips. She what? That's not all. Archer pulls out his phone, scrolling through old emails. Remember when Bowen first came to town? Before he met you? 3 years ago at that charity gala. Yeah, except he didn't just happen to be there. Reagan invited him. Archer shows me an old email chain. She'd been following his career, knew he was looking to expand his business here. She orchestrated the whole thing. I don't understand, I say, but deep down, I do. She needed someone successful enough to impress your mother, charming enough to win you over, and ambitious enough to be manipulated. Archer's voice is gentle. You weren't the target, Paris. You were the test run. Michaela appears at our table, laptop in hand. You need to see this. Reagan's doing damage control. She turns the screen toward us. There's my sister, tears perfectly positioned on her cheeks, speaking to her millions of followers. I know you've all seen the videos, but please let me explain. My sister Paris has always struggled with episodes. The pills she's talking about? They were prescribed. I was trying to help her. That manipulative little Michaela starts. Wait, I interrupt, something clicking into place. Archer, you said Reagan planned everything with Bowen. Why? What was her end game? Think about it. What's Reagan's biggest fear? Being overshadowed, I whisper. Losing control. Exactly. And what happened when you got engaged to Bowen? I remember the family dinners, the subtle shifts in dynamics. Mom started planning my future instead of obsessing over Reagan's. The family attention switched to my wedding, my relationship. Your sister's been playing chess while everyone else played checkers, Archer says, but she made one mistake. What's that? She underestimated you. He pulls up another email on his phone, and she didn't know I kept receipts, like this conversation with Bowen from 6 months ago, planning how to break you down slowly. My hands shake as I read their exchange. The calculated moves, the planned accidents, the way they discussed my vulnerabilities like items on a shopping list. There's more, Michaela says, turning her laptop again. Your mom's old emails. Looks like she knew about Reagan's plans for Bowen from the start. The betrayal hits like a physical blow. My own mother. Paris, Archer grabs my hand. You have enough here to destroy them all. But ask yourself, is that what you want? I look at the evidence scattered across our table. 3 years of manipulation, a lifetime of lies, all documented in black and white. No, I say finally, I don't want to destroy them. I want to set myself free. My phone buzzes, another message from Jessie. Reagan's live on Instagram again. She's claiming you're having a breakdown, that she's always protected you from yourself. I stand up, a plan forming. She wants to talk about protection? Let's show her followers what real protection looks like. What are you thinking? Michaela asks. I'm thinking it's time for my own live stream. But first, I turn to Archer. I need you to tell me everything you remember about our childhood. Every incident, every manipulation, every time Reagan played victim while making me the villain. Are you sure? Archer asks. Once you start this, I'm sure. I pull out my phone, opening my camera. Time to show the world what happens when the scapegoat stops carrying everyone else's sins. Michaela grins, already setting up the lighting. Ready when you are, boss. I take a deep breath, facing the camera. Hi, I'm Paris, and this is the story of how my sister didn't just steal my wedding, she tried to steal my entire life. The family redemption dinner my mother arranged at the resort's finest restaurant feels like walking into a trap. Crystal glasses catch the light, making everything sparkle like nothing's broken. Reagan sits at the center of the table, Bowen beside her, both wearing matching apologetic smiles that don't reach their eyes. Paris, sweetheart, my mother stands to hug me. Let's put this ugliness behind us. I dodge her embrace, taking my seat. Michaela squeezes my hand under the table. We're right on schedule. Would anyone like to say grace? Mom asks, desperate for normalcy. Actually, I stand, raising my wine glass. I'd like to make a toast. Reagan's smile falters. She knows me well enough to sense danger. To family, I begin. To sisters who love each other so much, they'll do anything to stay on top, even sabotage art scholarships. Paris, my mother warns. No, Mom, let me finish. I pull out my phone. Archer sent me some interesting emails today. Should I read them out loud? Reagan stands abruptly. This is ridiculous. I won't sit here and. Sit. Down. My voice cuts through her protest. You've had 20 years of showtime. Now it's my turn. I press play on my phone. Reagan's voice fills the restaurant. Of course, I switched her anxiety meds with sleeping pills. She was getting too confident, too noticed. Mom, you understand, right? You always said I was the special one. The color drains from my mother's face. Where did you get that? Your old voicemails. Hector kept them all. I swipe to the next recording. Here's one from last month, planning my wedding sabotage with Bowen. Bowen jumps up. That's private? Privacy? I laugh. Like when you two planned every detail of my breakdown, calculated exactly how to humiliate me? It wasn't like that, Reagan tries, but I'm already playing the next clip. Her conversation with Bowen about targeting me, using me as practice for their real end game. Paris, please, my mother begs. Oh, I'm not done. I nod to Michaela, who hits play on her laptop. The restaurant's screens light up with a montage: childhood photos of missing toys, torn artwork, sabotaged friendships, each image accompanied by dated emails, texts, and videos showing Reagan's systematic destruction of my life. You see, I address the other diners, many already filming. My sister isn't just an influencer, she's an architect of destruction. And Mom, she's the contractor who approved every demolition. Reagan lunges for my phone, but I step back. Careful, sis. Your followers are watching. She freezes. What? Check your tags. This dinner's being live streamed to your precious audience. Every word, every reaction. You can't. She grabs her phone, scrolling frantically. The comments are already flooding in, her carefully curated image crumbling in real time. I learned from the best, I say softly. You taught me how to craft a narrative, remember? How to make people see exactly what you want them to see. I'll sue you, she hisses. With what evidence? The truth? Go ahead. I'm sure your sponsors would love that publicity. Bowen stands, looking sick. Paris, wait. There's something you need to know. Save it. I turn to leave, then pause. Oh, and Reagan? The foundation called. They're reviewing your influencer partnerships in light of recent events. Something about ethical concerns. She crumples into her chair, mascara running. My mother reaches for her, still choosing her golden child even now. Mom, I say quietly, Hector left this morning. Said he couldn't watch you enable abuse anymore. Guess we know where he stands. I walk out, Michaela beside me, as chaos erupts behind us. Through the restaurant windows, I see Reagan frantically typing on her phone, probably trying to salvage her online reputation. Bowen follows me into the lobby. She said she was pregnant, he blurts out. Said if I didn't help her, she'd tell everyone I abandoned her and our baby. I turn slowly. Was she? No. He looks broken. I found out yesterday. It was all a lie. Congratulations, I say, not breaking stride. You married exactly who you deserve. Outside, the desert air feels clean, purifying. My phone buzzes with notifications. The video of dinner is already trending. You okay? Michaela asks. I look back at the restaurant, where my family's carefully constructed facade is finally shattering. I will be. Your story has 12 million views, Michaela announces, sprawled across my hotel room couch. The hashtag War Paris Revenge is trending worldwide. I'm watching Reagan's empire crumble in real time. 3 major brands have already dropped her. Her perfectly curated Instagram feed is drowning in comments calling her out. The Schadenfreude feels sweet until it doesn't. Did you see the documentary clip? Jessie asks, showing me her phone. Someone's edited together footage from my self wedding with the dinner confrontation, set to dramatic music. The comments call me a hero, an inspiration, the queen of karma, But watching myself tear down my sister, even knowing she deserved it, makes my stomach twist. Paris? A knock at the door. It's Bowen. Don't answer it, Michaela warns, but I'm already moving. He looks terrible. Designer suit, wrinkled, eyes red. Can we talk? Please? I step into the hallway, leaving the door open. Make it quick. I never meant. He starts, then stops. That's not true. I did mean it. I knew exactly what I was doing. At least you're honest now. Reagan, she got in my head. Made me believe I needed her connections, her influence, said you were holding me back. And the pregnancy lie? He winces. I knew deep down it wasn't true. I just used it as an excuse to do what I wanted anyway. Why are you telling me this? Because he runs his hands through his hair, watching you stand up to them, to all of us. It made me realize what real strength looks like. Don't! I cut him off. Don't try to make this a redemption story. I'm not. I'm trying to say you were always too good for me, for any of us. My phone buzzes. It's a news alert. Social media influencer Reagan's mental health facility past exposed. Sources claim years of family manipulation. Did you leak that? I ask Bowen. No. He looks surprised. But I know who did. Your mom. What? She called me an hour ago, crying. Said she's been enabling Reagan for so long she forgot how to be a real mother. She's releasing everything, the therapy records, the incidents, all of it. I lean against the wall, suddenly exhausted. She's throwing Reagan under the bus to save herself. Maybe. Or maybe she's finally choosing truth over protection. A commotion down the hall interrupts us. Reagan appears, her designer outfit replaced by sweatpants, her face bare of makeup. Satisfied? She spits at me. You've ruined everything. You did that yourself, Bowen says quietly. Shut up. She turns to me. You think you've won? You think exposing all this makes you better than me? No, I reply. It just makes me free. Free? She laughs hysterically. Look at what you've become. Calculating, ruthless, destroying people for revenge. Sound familiar? Her words hit home. I think about the last few days, how easily I slipped into the role of destroyer, how good it felt to watch them burn. You're right, I say, surprising her. I became exactly what I hated. But unlike you, I can stop. What does that mean? It means I'm done. No more exposés, no more revelations. I turn to Bowen. You two deserve each other, and I deserve peace. Paris, Michaela calls from the doorway. Jesse's got the final cut of your wedding video ready. I nod. That's the last piece. After that, I'm going offline for a while. Running away? Reagan sneers. No, moving on. I head back to my room, then pause. By the way, Mom's releasing all your records. Might want to check your phone. Reagan's scream of rage follows me as I close the door. Inside, Jesse shows me the video. Beautiful, raw, honest. My self wedding, intercut with moments of revelation and strength. The final shot is me throwing my original wedding ring into the Sedona Canyon. It's perfect, I say. Post it. You sure? Michaela asks. This could keep going. You could completely destroy them. I think about Reagan's words, about becoming what you hate to fight what you hate. No, I say firmly. Let this be the final word. I don't need to destroy them. I just needed to save myself. My phone buzzes one last time. A message from my mother. I'm sorry for everything. When you're ready to talk, I'll be here. I put the phone away without responding. Some conversations can wait. Right now, I need to remember who I was before revenge became my purpose. So, Michaela grins. Where to next? I look at the Sedona sunset, feeling lighter than I have in years. Anywhere but here. The morning desert air bites cold as I stand at the canyon's edge, watching the sunrise paint the rocks gold. Behind me, my rental car is packed with everything I'm taking from this place. It's not much. Sure you won't stay another day? Michaela asks, hugging herself against the chill. Can't. The gallery opening won't wait. My phone buzzes, another message from Reagan. I delete it without reading, just like the others. The last I heard, she and Bowen were taking a break to focus on healing. Their marriage lasted 12 days. Your mother's here. Michaela nods toward an approaching figure. Mom looks smaller somehow, more human. She's carrying something wrapped in tissue paper. I found this in the attic, she says, holding it out. From before. Everything. I unwrap it carefully. It's my first art piece that won a school prize, the one that disappeared the night before the ceremony. The watercolors are still vibrant. Two sisters holding hands under a rainbow. Reagan didn't destroy it, Mom says quietly. I hid it. I thought if you saw how talented you were, you'd leave us for art school. Like you did? I ask. Before you met Dad? She nods, tears forming. I gave up my dreams to be a proper mother, then pushed all my regrets onto Reagan, made her feel she had to be perfect. And when she couldn't handle it, she made sure no one else could be perfect either. Paris, Mom touches my arm. What you did, exposing everything. It broke us. But maybe we needed breaking. Is that why you released her records? I released mine too. All my therapy sessions about controlling you girls, living through Reagan, punishing you for being like the me I gave up. She wipes her eyes. The truth hurts, but lies poison. Michaela's phone chimes. The article you wrote is live, she says. Want to see the comments? I shake my head. No more comments. No more viral moments. I turn to my mother. No more perfect daughters or broken sisters. Just life. And art, she adds, gesturing at my old watercolor. You always saw beauty in broken things. Speaking of which, I pull a gallery invitation from my bag. My first show opens next week. It's called The Vow, all broken mirrors and wedding flowers. Kind of on the nose, but I'll be there, Mom says quickly. Front row. Reagan might come too. She texted about wanting to talk. Are you ready for that? I look at the rising sun, thinking about revenge and redemption, about how breaking things isn't the same as fixing them. I'm ready to listen, I say finally. Not forgive, not yet, but listen. Michaela helps me pack the watercolor carefully in my car. The internet's calling you an icon, you know. The self marriage queen. I laugh. Tell them the queen is dead. Long live the artist. And what about love? Mom asks. Real love? I meant what I said in my vows, had to learn to love myself first. I smile, but I hear Archer's moving to my city. For work, he says. Uh huh, Michaela grins. Work. I take one last look at the canyon, at the place where I threw away my old ring. The morning light catches something in my hand. My new ring, the one I gave myself. Simple silver, inscribed with one word truth. Ready? Michaela asks. Almost. I pull out my phone, open Instagram one last time. My feed is still full of wedding drama, viral moments, strangers debating my choices. I click deactivate account. What will all your followers say? Mom asks. They'll find another story to follow. I need to live mine. I hug them both, slip into my car, and start the engine. In the rearview mirror, I see them standing together in the golden light, my best friend who never left, my mother who's learning to return. The desert stretches ahead, empty and full of possibility. My phone stays silent in my bag. The broken wedding flowers in my back seat catch the sun, throwing rainbow prisms across my dashboard. I drive toward my new life, leaving behind a viral storm of revenge and redemption. Sometimes the best endings aren't about winning or losing, but about choosing when to stop playing the game. And sometimes the bravest thing isn't destroying your enemies, but letting yourself heal instead.